Purusha Shrestha Ishvara, you become really God. Ishvara is not God. Ishvara is one who is Sthita Prajna, one who is one with the surroundings. That is how, what is religion? Really? Physics wise, we can't see an electron because how do I see you physics wise? A few photons in you should leave your body and come and hit my eye. Then only I am aware of your presence. You are there or not there, I don't know. That's Maya. That's why it's called illusion, uncertainty principle, illusion. But if one photon leaves an electron, it no longer is an electron. So how can you see an electron? You can't see an electron. So just because you have not seen God, it doesn't mean God doesn't exist. I don't know, I heard this in school. When Vivekananda was a little arrogant, young he was, he went to Ramakrishna Ji and said, have you seen God? And what Ramakrishna Ji did was, gave him a real hit on the face. Then he realized and went. So this is where what happens, you see. When you realize, go above, you can feel God. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa felt God. And he felt God in everything that he said. And that's what inspired Vivekananda to follow him. Because Vivekananda was a rationalist. He wouldn't follow anything which he doesn't rationalize. So that's how Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was the greatest sage that I have ever seen, ever heard of, or ever read about. And Vivekananda was the most faithful Shishya that I would like to be of any master. And the man who revived our ancient wisdom in the West. The next man after that who proved in science that Eastern science is greater than the Western science was Rustum Roy. And Rustum Roy is a great man. So he was saying in the meeting that I have not seen an electron, but I can feel an electron. And because I am a Western scientist, I know the hollowness of the Western science. You know, outside people don't know. If you want to know what science, Western science is, read this book, write down. It's called The Golem. Golem, G-O-L-E-M. G for God, O for Orange, L for London, E for England, M for Mother. Golem. You know what Golem is? Any Malayalis here? Golem. What is Golem? Any Malayalis here? Nobody from Kerala? Huh? Ende Golem ende. Golem. Scarecrow. You know scarecrow? Have you heard of scarecrow? The figure they put in a building and all. So science is created as a scarecrow to frighten the colonies, to keep them under their thumb. So today you see, the minute the Americans say it's science, you believe it. Otherwise you say Ayurveda is not science, you don't believe it. Because Americans don't think Ayurveda is science, so they say it's not science. So what is science? Golem. And science has become a greater religion than all the religions put together. Read this book. Science Set Free. The book's name is Science Set Free. Written by one of the greatest scientists the world has seen. Another greatest scientist. His name is Rupert Sheldrake in Cambridge. Rupert Sheldrake. You know Sheldrake, a biologist. Science Set Free. He says science is under clutches. Set it free. Then only you can progress. You're not progressing now because science has become a more dogmatic religion than religion. So that is how. What is religion? Religion, what does it mean? Join again. You're taking you back to your roots with probably, as some people said, yoga is connecting Atman with Paramatman, which it is not. Patanjali never said, actually there is a view, I don't know how far it's true, that Patanjali was an atheist. He never believed in God. That's why Patanjali said simply, you become God. Chitta vritti nirodha yoga. You become a yogi when you don't have any nirodha in your chitta, in your mind. Chitta is a different level of mind. See, mind has 5 levels according to Ayurveda. Manas, child's mind, which is like a dark room and an opening. Child sits inside and anybody passes that side, child smiles. You know how many times a child smiles in a day? 500 to 1000 times. Count how many times you have smiled yesterday. Some of us don't smile at all. We are so grim. We did some study on what's called healthy heart rate variability. In a child's heart, it is so good that the child breathes in, the heart goes fast. Child breathes out, heart goes slow. It's called heart rate variability, HRV. We studied that in patients full of hatred for others after heart disease and all. They have hardly any heart rate variability. We gave them yoga training, made them human beings. They came back to the child's heart. So I always tell my students, keep a child's heart in you. You will never die. You will never age, never become big. Now look at this child smiling at everybody. That's called manas. Then you send the child to school. Alexis Carrel, a Nobel laureate surgeon, wrote, every newborn child is a genius, only to be converted into an idiot in school. No, in school you want everybody to be same, because that's the industrial revolution time in England. You wanted simply unquestioning, unthinking people to work in the factory. Suppose they question, they say, why am I working on this machine? Then you are in trouble. So he should simply work because you tell him to work, he works. Teach him to work, he works. That's the education system. That's we inherited from the British. And we left our education system of what is called the real yogic system where Upa, Ni, Shad. Upa is close, Ni is the vacuum you take, Shad is sit. So sit down by the side of your teacher with that vacuum, the anxiety, the appetite to learn, and you learn from him, sitting very close to him. That has gone. Gurukula system, which was where the student really follows the footsteps of the teacher. You know how Vivekananda sits by the feet of Ramakrishna and just absorbs Ramakrishna's thinking and thoughts and makes it part of his life. That is a real education. Here it's not like that. In school we want everybody to be alike. You can never make two human beings alike. There are no two human beings are alike in any way. That's why I said some people hate and then still thrive and live long. Some people hate and die. So children, now what is happening in the school now? A for everybody child should say apple. B for bat. C for cat. Now this is the wrong education. If you ask a child, two children, A for what? One will say something else. One will say something else. Their own ideas of the world. But in the school you make them robots. Identical. Everybody is the same. So what happens to this thing when you go to school? You are told something which you inherit, you put into your head. It's called buddhi. So the next level of mind is called buddhi. So you make the child an idiot, it becomes buddhi. Then there is another level, the third level is called chitta, above the buddhi, where aham comes in. Like for example, this child sitting there, Swamiji passes there, smiles. B.M. Hegde passes there, it says, that rascal B.M. Hegde I don't like. Now that is because buddhi tells B.M. Hegde is a bad man, Swamiji is a good man. So that chitta is a level where you start hating. That's why Patanjali said chitta, that level, vritti, that hatred, nirod. Don't put government nirod, it leaks. So put the yogic nirod so it doesn't leak. So chitta, vritti, nirodha, yogaha. So what's the next level? Viveka. So people say, okay, you don't like B.M. Hegde, forget it, let him go to dogs. What are you worried about? Why are you spoiling your peace of mind? That's the level, it's okay. Most of us come to that level sometimes. But that's not enough because you should not have that attitude at all. Purusha, the next level is called Purusha. From the Purusha, if you go up, further up, Purusha Shrestha Ishvara, you become really God. Ishvara is not God. Ishvara is one who is Sthita Prajna, one who is one with the surroundings. So, if you see B.M. Hegde going there, you must say, okay, he has come from Mangalore, poor fellow. It's already 2 o'clock, whether he's had lunch or not, I don't know. So let me call him inside. You call him inside your house, give him a warm meal, make him comfortable. That's called the Ishvara level. You are absolutely Sthita Prajna. And that's exactly what you should become. You are a yogi. So this is how you will elevate your mind from manas to Ishvara. And that's how yoga teaches you how to, what Swamiji was now telling about how the mind can be changed by yoga. That's exactly what it is all about. So it's not about God.